All right. So,
Before you start this, it took everything in my being not to add an R to that word.
what?
Beasts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Breasts. Yeah. Okay. I get it. That's funny. Yeah. Bit like Sydney's. I think it's here anyway. So there's this conversation with Jude Law. It's the weirdest title. It's about what you'd expect from modern stuff. Jude Law's triumphant return. The actor on Star Wars Secrets, going full frontal. Marvel, Ripley, homoeroticism. You're like, well, I'm reading something about modern Hollywood, aren't I? Like, Jesus Christ. But there's basically some interesting stuff about the Harry Potter franchise to a degree. Not majorly interesting. Something's interesting. So says, but that was then. This year is shaping up to be a big one for Jude Law. Not as big as 2004 when he starred in 6 films, all within 4 months, including playing a cad in Closer, Womanizer in a remake of Alfie, Errol Flynn in The Aviator, blah 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 blah, and then, but this is the most the public has seen of him in years. Law has popped up in dozens of movies since then, embodying a young Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts franchise and Watson in Sherlock Holmes, but mostly he relishes flying under the radar as a character actor. So there's that just brief mention. Like he was like a serial like progenitor. He keeps like shagging women, and apparently he's got loads of kids because he just keeps shagging loads of different women. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I
it's just
mean,
like a
good for him. I mean, I don't know.
well, I was just saying, no wonder he wants to fly under the radar, I guess is the point. God, where is this crap about bloody Harry Potter? Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh my god.
It was like an hour and a half ago. This is like a giant article, by the way.
I know. I had it and it's
There's
gone.
there's the skeleton crew bit.
Well,
Right
yeah, so he
there.
starts talking about Skeleton Crew, which is
Yeah.
not that interesting to be honest, but we'll make it interesting. So it says in December, after some delays, Disney Plus will finally drop Star Wars Skeleton Crew, with Law as the adult presiding over a troop of 4 children who embark on their own intergalactic journey. Law only said yes after several long conversations with John Watts, the director of Tom Holland's Spider-Man films and the series creator. Quote, I don't think I would have dived in willy-nilly. I wanted it to be right. I didn't want to be the guy that dropped the ball on Star Wars. Mate, don't you worry about it. That ball's been dropped a fucking long time ago. You're good. There is nothing you could do that would drop that ball even further. Don't you worry about it. That is madness, isn't it? That's crazy. What a
Well, you
funny
have to.
comment.
I mean, again, it always makes me nervous when you combine Star Wars with Disney and kids. Um, it's possible he can make it work.
Yeah, true. So apparently he still weighed in on critical elements of his character. Possible Jedi Jod Nar Wood. For instance, he refused to do what he calls acting with a carpet. They said, oh, you're going to wear a wig. We want lovely tousled hair. And I was like, no, I think he should have really short hair. He wears a helmet. That took some persuasion. Growing up in South London, the son of 2 teachers, Law had loved the original Star Wars movie, so he was giddy to see firsthand how a Star Wars project was made. Quote, it was a really interesting process. It's technically complicated to get those things right. You're dealing with animatronics and puppets and machines in huge, complicated worlds. I'm the guy that wants to see how the wizard does it. So Law comes alive discussing the intricacies of making the TV series. It all has to go through the Star Wars filter. Like there are no buttons in Star Wars, only ties, buckles, yes, Velcro, yes. Although I don't think you ever see the Velcro. Interesting. And Law then starts to dissect the cinematography of Star Wars. There are certain shots they don't allow you to do if you're the director. You can't pass through the glass of the spaceship. You have to stay on the outside or inside. I love that. You see the shot and go, oh, I'm in Star Wars. I didn't think about that, to be fair. I didn't notice that. So scrolling. What do you think of those comments anyway?
Mostly harmless. I like the idea that he's like me. Also, he wants to know how things work. Um,
Mm,
I'm always fascinated, and one of the reasons I kind of took it upon myself to learn a lot about animatronic design and things like that, and build out
mm,
build out stuff for installations and such. So again, I mean, I was inspired by Stan Winston and many others, in the industry. So I can appreciate that he's looking at it from with that lens, I should say. Um,
yeah.
the fact that he had to push for his character to look a given way. I mean, I understand all those things. I mean, you're trying to make creative choices for a character that they want you to embody. Um, but it as long as you deliver it the way they want you to, I guess that's perfectly fine. But if they give way to some of that, it's not a bad sign to help it with actor buy-in. So overall, I mean, this is just kind of the same kind of thing you should be hearing from creatives and actors and actresses.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. So interestingly, then says here, so this is the sort of more interesting stuff about Harry Potter. I mean, it's all kind of interesting anyway. So he says, speaking of Law's more recent work, if he could wave a magic wand, Law would return to playing the younger Albus Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts franchise, though he acknowledges it's not likely they'll continue. He was in the second and third of the Harry Potter prequels in what was supposed to be a series of 5. Mad, isn't it? He says, I know it's certainly on hold. My guess would be that now they're doing Harry Potter as a TV show, they'll probably put their energy into that. I certainly haven't heard that there's anything on the horizon. I think it could be that you, embroiled yourself in quite a controversy, to be honest, with Johnny Depp and that. People forget that.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of mistakes made around the Harry Potter property. Let's speak words today. But I think that's true. I mean, the Johnny Depp controversy really pulled the wind out of a lot of sails when it came to things that Warner Brothers was doing. In fact, it killed
Yeah, it really
stuff
did.
at Disney too. The fact that they went the wrong way, they believed all women, and threw their hat in behind the bed pooper. I would say that's a bad idea. Not to mention the fact that not
Mm,
to speak out in support of a friend, because I mean there are a lot of people that never took opportunity to take Johnny's side. They either remained
yeah.
mum, they either remained mum or threw their support behind somebody they didn't really know.
Well, for Warner Brothers made a really dumb decision is they had to pay Johnny Depp for the
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
but then they recast him and then had to pay Mads Mikkelsen to do the same movie.
yeah. And Mads like checked in with Johnny before he did it. Why?
Yeah.
Well, because he wanted to make sure he didn't piss off his friend.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
But that brings the margin of profit incredibly thin. Incredibly thin. Paying 2 big name actors. Yeah, not good. Not good.
Well, wait a minute.
Law
Wait,
apparently met
wait,
with
well,
J.K.
well,
Rowling.
hang on.
Oh,
I got to
what?
push back. There was no profit in that film.
No, that's what I mean. I said
Oh,
the margin for profit. It pushes the margin for profit.
oh, sure,
That's what I'm
but I
saying.
mean, but it had it even performed, let's say that the film came out, they didn't have to pay Mads any dollars. It never was going to make a profit. It was a terrible idea to push forward on something like that.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's all intertwined, isn't it? The issue was Johnny Depp firing him, paying him as well. The bad PR from all of that, pissing people off. Then also getting someone else paying him as well. Like it's a multitude of things. That's what I mean by pushing the margin for profit really, really bad. But you're right. Yeah, like it wasn't going to do it, but it may have gone into profit if Johnny Depp was in it. You never know. That's what I meant. Law met with J.K. Rowling, whom he still regards fondly. Oh, he's going to get cancelled for that. She filled him in on the complete arc of the story she'd hatched for these new films. Had a pretty clear sense of where it was going to go. Law says, recalling that Rowling gave him many notes, including one that Dumbledore saw himself as a monster. That's why he liked Newt, Law says, because the character Eddie Redmayne plays in the films, because Newt took care of monsters. Weird, but all right. Did they make him gay as well in this? Yeah. I think he always felt guilty that he had been misled because he was in love. It followed him. He found himself to be unlovable because he trusted his heart. Yeah. Well, anyway, there you go. But it's dead, basically. It's cancelled. It's gone. Not going to happen.
Well, and I think that he's really, maybe he enjoys being, a B or C list actor now. I don't know how anybody could, but he may relegate himself down the list. I mean, let's hope for goodness sake he doesn't end up there with Kathy Griffin or anybody like that. But, and not Amy Schumer or anything like that. Let's hope he doesn't say anything politically expedient that allows people to just remove him from their consideration.
Yeah. Yep. Well, there you go. Yeah, Fantastic Beasts is dead as a franchise.
Yeah.
Is dead as a franchise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless they bring Johnny back.
Nah, still be dead as a franchise, I think.
I think you're probably true. Or right. Or accurate. I think that's probably true. Words are hard today. I've been doing this for a lot. And I'm hungry.
You've been drinking today, mate.
Not yet. It's
Not
Halloween,
yet.
dude.
I will, though.
Well, I have to be properly sloshed when I'm answering the doors to pass out candy. So
Jesus.
Well, actually, I've done that before too. I've been Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I can see that.
Carrying across to, and it's always fun, to holler back in for a light beer.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there you go. We will move on now